Ready, steady.
Hello and welcome to In the Court of the Wenton King. Welcome to you, episode 223. We're doing another request from our Patreon, www.patreon.com/WentonKing. If you pledge £5,
yeah, you get a review.
Yeah, you can just pledge £5 and then cancel it, so you can just have one, not £5. It's fine. Yeah. But they've requested this: pudding and Gisteren. Gisteren. It's actually pudding Gisteren because it's Dutch Prague. I think we should try and do some Roger Waters impressions because I think it would be so ridiculous. The part of that terrible thing from the past I posted, the Star Trek script, the bit that I actually wanted to cut out and I had to leave it in was my McCoy bit, which was so bad and so embarrassing.
You used to struggle with the impressions, didn't you?
You
used to hate it. Remember the South African one?
I couldn't do it.
What was it? It was an aardvark. I can't remember it now. It's funny.
And I'll try doing normal impression. It'd just be me saying hello. That's just normal voice. Hello, my name is Kevin. What impression is that? I don't know. Okay, so Roger Waters, here we go. If you don't eat your meat, you can't have any pudding. How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat?
That's pretty good, to be fair.
Go on.
I can't think of anything.
It's going to distort. It's just too near.
What am I gonna say?
Same.
Pudding. How's it go again? If you don't eat your meat.
I don't believe it. That was nothing like it. I don't know what this voice is. Hello.
I can't do it anymore. It's too energetic for me. I don't believe it.
I don't believe it.
If you don't eat your meat, how can you have any pudding? No, I can't do it, Kev.
You.
Yes. The thing is, he's absolutely yelling into the microphone. You can't do an impression of that without
shouting. Yeah.
Without the shouting.
Well, I did, didn't I? But unfortunately, I think it's going to distort. So sorry. I apologise for the poor sound. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so I don't speak Dutch. I thought it was French for a bit, so that was quite difficult because I did do French for a few years and don't remember it. Just to clarify. Okay, but supposedly there is a joke. Okay, there's two kids called Pudding and Yesterday, so I assume. It should be pudding Gisteren, because Gisteren means yesterday.
Right.
So I translated and, but not pudding.
What does pudding mean?
Oh, sorry, yesterday.
Right.
Pudding means pudding. Gisteren means yesterday. So one of them needs a poo. So he poos out the window and it lands on a woman's head. So the policeman comes to the door and says, was it yesterday? No, it was today. Was it pudding? No, it was shit. That's the joke. Okay. Strange Dutch humour. It's kind of almost a joke. It doesn't quite fit. This band were asked to do a ballet, as you do. So they named the ballet after that joke. It's pudding on Gisteren. Sorry, pudding on Gisteren. Music for ballet. Does humour belong in music? I mean, we've answered that, and the answer is yes. Actually, very typically prog. So there are lots of progging, ELP and early yes in a Canterbury bedrock. And it's all very familiar. But some of it, half of it is all very, very familiar, and it's that terrible production, really sort of dry in a cardboard box production with some fantastic playing and wonderful compositions, and it's all but it's sort of trapped in this little cardboard box of bad production. That's so familiar with that 1972 prog. But what I do like, it's not only the humour. The humour is in the music, I should say, not just in the silly titles. The structure of the album, I think, has a bit of a sense of humour about it. It starts with this strange plinky light thing, and you think, okay, this is a joke. This is going to change in a minute. It doesn't. It does the whole song. This silly plinky song. It gets through the whole song before changing at the end, and there's a bit at the end where it's like a jam. I think you can call that pop. The Plinky Light thing, I think you can call it pop. And it is appealing. It's not Metallica, once again, I couldn't think of the band, but the Divine Comedy was the closest I could get. It's not quite right, but taking the music, ironic music, it's too complicated to be music, but that was the closest I could come up with. I couldn't think of the band, but there is a band I was trying to think of, and I don't know who it was. But the thing is, okay, so you don't really get to actual prog until track 4. You get these songs, like, what the hell is this? Which is quite funny, I think. That's quite cool.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand your description going on there, because I'll tell you what it sounded to me like. It was Belle and Sebastian with...
Yes! That's it! Belle and Sebastian.
With stupid lyrics.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
I like that.
Doesn't Belle and Sebastian have stupid lyrics?
They're pretty straight up folk. I don't think they're funny.
There's just something in the music that's silly, isn't there? Yeah.
So so the actual lyrics are pretty cool, and strange and weird, and should be good like that. It's one band where the lyrics actually.
You listen, you notice them. And you listen
and they actually make it interesting, because I thought the music was actually pretty bland.
Well, the first 3 tracks it is.
Yeah.
Then it goes off into prog.
Yeah. But, why would you...
Exactly, it's quite funny.
It's quite fun. I mean, humour has a place in music.
Yeah, towards the end of radio, I was thinking, why have they asked us to review this? It's quite funny. It's good.
Yeah. Interesting. But
a great suggestion.
Yeah.
Something I'd never heard of.
Yeah.
I've not done Dutch prog. It's a new thing.
Yeah. It's interesting, but once you've heard the first 3 tracks and you know what they are...
Yeah, you skip to track 4.
Is it worth it?
Yeah. In fact, you probably skip to track 5.
Exactly. I mean, that's the problem with that kind of thing. Once you get it,
that's it. Yeah, it's singles music. It's you buy a single and you play it for a week, and then you buy the next single the next week.
Yeah. So it doesn't really warrant. But how much did you pay for this?
Probably £6, something like that.
That's not too bad, but I mean, £6 for something that's pretty disposable.
Well, the first 3 tracks are. 4 and 5 aren't. The huge prog epic stuff.
Yeah, okay. I'd rather pay £3
for 4 tracks 4 and 5.
for tracks 4 and 5, which you can do these days on iTunes and whatnot.
That would be a bargain, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
Is it 79p still? Is it on iTunes?
I don't know. I don't really use iTunes.
Slightly perverse, paying 79p for track 5, which is half the album.
So yeah, cool. Very, very cool. Tracks 1 to 3 are cool on the first listen, and then a bit boring. Tracks 4 and 5 is what it's all about, which is cool because we like prog, especially from 1972.
Well, yeah, the band is called Supersister. I don't think I said that. I was
Yeah.
talking about the title of the album. It is their 3rd album, I think. I wonder if we've done reading about them a bit. I wonder if we've done the right album. But so yeah, the end of side 1 and all of side 2 is the prog stuff, really.
Mm-hmm.
So that Judy Goes on Holiday is some cool ideas stuck together. I'm very wary of saying this. It feels very disjointed bits and pieces stuck together. It's always a risk saying that about a prog thing, because over time it sort of becomes true as you see the truth, and it sort of kind of makes sense. I don't think so. I think it's just disjointed bits and pieces. So it is cool, but it's just disjointed bits and pieces. But the longer piece is the highlight. It's a very tasteful, proggy fusion journey, and it's never obnoxious. I mean, all of it is has that same. It's not poppy, but it's still got that same quite gentle application, even when they're going crazy. There is a gentleness to it, which is really good. But yeah, tasteful proggy fusion journey through various moods, and and the humour and the cool playing, I think, is sort of works together on that last track. Whereas the first side, it's kind of completely disjointed. So that's good. It is a ballet. It was performed as a ballet, and you can tell it's a ballet. It is very much danceable. You could dance to it, and that's cool. It's really good. They did start at school as a school band called something slightly different. I think Sister and Sweet, or Sweet Supersister, or something like that, with a pop singer. They were the band for the pop singer, and the pop singer left. So I wonder if that's how they've been able to keep the pop without being poo-pooed by the proggers, who, because genuinely there was a separation of rock and pop. That was the early 70s thing. It was supposed to be something you did. These bands don't do pop. When I think, it's Deep Purple. Deep Purple sitting having a drink with the Sweet, and a Deep Purple fan comes up and says, "Why are you having a drink with this awful, crappy pop group? You don't even talk to them. They're the enemy." And the Sweet actually quite good. But John Lord's response was, because the guy then said, "Okay, so when's your next single coming out? I liked Strange Kind of Woman. What's the next one?" He said, "Well, when we want to release anything, we don't need to think we're a crappy pop group." Whereas having that origin, I think, helps them. That they're able to bring that pop thing in, which is great, and that's what makes it unique, actually. Whereas the prog stuff is very much progging. So it is a nice mix. But like you said, obviously the pop by its nature is not going to have longevity. They're like a reverse Marillion. The singer left so they could reach stardom.
Mm-hmm.
I think 4 eggs, which is very much a meaningless number because it's so disjointed between the first 3 tracks and tracks 4 and 5.
I agree. 4 eggs.
But
It's better than 3, definitely.
I like the humour. The humour in the music, not just the lyrics, but I like the humour in the music. It's great. Silliness.
Didn't it be the case that I didn't like humour in music, or I said humour had no place in music? It might have been Tull, actually.
I don't think...
Early Tull, I might have said.
I remember you saying you didn't hear the humour in Thick as a Brick. You did on the cover, but not in the music.
Right.
But Thick as a Brick, the idea of it being so convoluted and melodies keep coming back and it goes on for 40 minutes. It's not necessarily humorous, is it?
No. Yeah, 4 eggs.
Cool.
I agree. It's better than 3, definitely.
So yeah, it's worth tracking down. It may be worth tracking down track 5. I mean, it's not on Spotify. Does that mean it's going to be on iTunes? Maybe if you live in the Netherlands, it'll be available. I don't know, but not here. I could get it on Amazon, but it was a bit of a digging around finding a cheap one. We are going to struggle to track down some of the albums that have been requested. Actually,
maybe we should ask people to send them in.
That's what we like.
Send us a mixtape,
yes, please. Even if it's a CDR, you can't get it. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Yeah, but a great recommendation. Something interesting.
Yeah.
You should certainly at least track down track 5, maybe track 1 and track 5, and see what you think. It's an interesting one.
Yeah, give it a listen.
Yeah, give it a listen. See you next week.